I have just created a new enterprise application that I registered in Microsoft Entra ID with the intention of enabling my users of my WordPress website to sign in with a Microsoft account using the SAML 2.0 single sign-on protocol. My next step is that I would need to configure the SAML connection between the service provider, which is our website, and the identity provider, which is Microsoft Entra ID. To configure this basic SAML portion of the enterprise application, I can go back to my WordPress website, and here I already installed the WPO 365 login plugin. And now I need to configure it, and when I do that, it will generate for me this portion, this basic SAML configuration portion. To do that, I go to the WPO 365 configuration pages. I can simply click WPO 365 here on the left, and I can head over to my single sign-on page, or here on the dashboard page, I can see that single sign-on is currently disabled. I can toggle it to enable it. And here I can navigate also to the single sign-on page to basically configure single sign-on. I scroll a little bit down to the Azure Active Directory section, and here first of all I need to select the identity provider, which is of course Azure AD, or as it is also known as Microsoft Entra ID. The plugin has not yet been renamed, but this will happen anytime soon. And I would need to select the SSO protocol. By default, OpenID Connect is selected, but I can simply change this to SAML 2.0. As soon as I have selected SAML 2.0, the form has changed a little bit. I see two sections, one for the service provider metadata and one for the IDP metadata. Well, the service provider metadata, that's easy, that is our WordPress website. The IDP metadata, it's also simple, that's Microsoft. That is our identity provider. Now we can ask WPO 365 to generate this service provider metadata for us. But before we do that, we should verify that we agree that this is the home page of our WordPress website, that this address is correct. In my case, I'm happy with this address, so I simply click Generate. You will see a spinner for the time that WPO 365 is generating the metadata. And what you can see what happened is that it generated an identity ID that kind of identifies our application in Microsoft Entra ID. And it does that by creating a random value and to attach that basically to the website home address. And that would be the entity ID. Where should basically Microsoft send the SAML response when a user has logged in? Well, here we just simply keep the home address of our WordPress website. And what is the logout service URL for our website? Well, by default it would be WP login PHP, and the action is equal to logged out. If this is different for you, and if you know what you're doing, then please feel free to update the values here. You can now update these values, that's not a problem. And once you've updated values, then simply click Generate again, and a new metadata file will be generated, as you can see. So I will now in this case just simply delete the first one, and I will keep the one that we've created. And now I will save this to my local computer. And now that I've saved it, I will be able to upload it in Microsoft Entra ID to configure the basic SAML portion of my enterprise application. So let's do that. And I head over back to my tab where I still have Microsoft Entra ID, the portal open, and here I have the option to upload a metadata file. I will click to select the file, and I will select the file from my local desktop where I saved it temporarily, and click open to select it, and then I click add. This will open a panel to the side. It will show me all the values that I've entered. Some other values remain empty. That's not a problem. But if you know what you're doing, feel happy to basically also fill out these fields. But make sure that the relay state is empty, and it's used to remember where the user intended to go. So it's kind of, if the user follows a deep link, we will put this deep link, the URL where the user intended to go, into the SAML request as relay state. So don't fill out anything here, or else you override that logic. I'm happy with this. I click save, and with this configuration saved, I can simply close this panel, and I'm done with this step.